Good afternoon and welcome to Complex PTSD TV. My name's Linda. I'm your certified trauma recovery coach. And yes, I do trauma recovery coaching as well. All the information that we discussed today you can find in the link that will be attached to this video. And the Complex PTSD shop is now open and we have our brand new editions available for you, and we have our less than $1 a day membership to help your recovery move a lot forward effectively. Okay, now today I want to talk to you about dopamine and depression. In my previous video, I talked about how I'd reached a stage after the abandonment wound was released and I realized I had all of these symptoms happening, and I went, oh my goodness. And, spent time sobbing into Kleenex because I was like, all these things have been happening all my life, and the trauma and certainly all the stuff passed down had hidden them from me as well. And two things can be true. Not only were they hidden from me, but for me, they were my normal, okay? So I got used to operating at that level of normal. However, once I recognized that this is what was driving the depression as well, I went looking for some answers and I came across dopamine, which is definitely an essential in the brain. Without it, I have been unable to make goals and finish my work. I've got over 20 ebooks that are just about complete, but I've never finished them. And this past week, being on natural dopamine tablets, I have got so much more work done. It was unbelievable. And the first time I took them, I could literally feel them shifting in my brain. Please be aware, I'm very aware of what's happening for me internally because I've been doing this journey for around 35 years now. And I know that natural things work for me. Actually, I've put together some questions for you to ask on the latest blog on dopamine as well, so that you can, if you've got trauma, you can check whether something natural will work for you or whether it won't. Meanwhile, let's just take a quick look at what happens when there's a lack of dopamine, okay? So when there's a lack of dopamine, we have an inability to focus on hard tasks. So we can become bored, all right? We have a lack of self-motivation. And I'm one of the most self-motivated people I know. But even me, it can be a really hard slog some days. You've heard me talk before that, I have to get up and go walking in the morning because I use it to help change my breathing and regulation. And some mornings I had to get up saying, I hate this. I hate that I have to do this because I didn't cause this problem, okay? But I'd still go and do it. But it's just another way of motivating me to say the choice is I either go and do this and become well, or I don't and spend another day where I don't want to be, okay? It's a lack of dopamine means that we struggle with self-control and willpower. We'll struggle to have patience. And if there is one thing my kids tell me all the time, Mum, you've got no patience. Well, I think I have, but they know I don't. But it's not with them. It's things like, oh, come on, load, will you? What's wrong with the internet? Why isn't it working? But I promise you, I'm working on developing it. But it has been a real challenge for me to develop the patience to say, okay, this is a long journey to wellness. I'm just hoping I make your journey a bit shorter. We have a lack of life satisfaction. We can find it hard to feel a real sense of fulfillment. So I have a fulfilling life, but sometimes do I feel that? So I know that, but do I feel that? That's what you've got to be looking at. It will, if we have dopamine, we'll have a solid self-discipline. So without it, it is hard to discipline ourselves. With it, we can, with a lack of it, we don't really worry about achievement, okay? So when we've got it, we can become focused on achieving, and not achieving in the world sense of, you know, going out and landing on the moon or something. I'm talking about getting the dishes done, all right? I'm talking about being able to remember that, okay, that's next on my list that I want to get done. Oh, that's right. That's what I was going to do next. And you know what? This stuff works, and I'll tell you why. When I'm talking to you about the list of, you know, what we don't have when we've got a lack of dopamine, last week, I went, oh, that's right, I wanted to take the bins out and I wanted to put my washing on. And I went and had a nap, and I got up, went to the back door, and my first thoughts were, oh, I'll go and put the washing on. And it shocked me, because normally I have to work really hard to remember this stuff. So much so that this is what I do, because my memory was terrible. I did up a daily accountability sheet for me. Let me know if you want one. And what it is, it's not a to-do list. It's not even a to-da list. It's these are the things I need to check in my day, whether I've got them done or I've checked that I know where that's up to. So even if I haven't done the dishes, I'm checking that I know where that's up to and where it's going to slot into my day. All right, there's a big difference. And then the only thing I had to remember was to look at my sheet every day. And that took so much pressure off me. It was unbelievable. So now I still use it each day to go, oh yeah, I've thought of that, done that, yeah. Because I want to be able to keep track. And I'm aware that when we're working with the brain, things aren't overnight solutions either, okay? So we want to be able to do that. And it is developing a discipline, and the dopamine makes it so much easier. And then all of a sudden you start remembering stuff that you've never remembered to do automatically before, and it just feels like heaven on a stick. And even down to our balance. Now, my kids will tell you, and I'll tell you quite honestly, every time we go shopping, I'm the one that pushes the trolley, okay? Now, I've done that for years, because when I first started to get out of bed, I needed to hold on to something because I was so out of balance physically, obviously at the brain level as well. There was no, it's not just your balance, it's just like your whole system is just not online. Well, it wasn't for me back then. And so Thursday night, Nick and I went shopping, and I just handed him the trolley and said, you do that. And off I went, and I'm pulling stuff off shelves, and I'm getting this and getting that, and putting the trolley. He makes the trolley nice and neat, mind you. And we get out of the supermarket, and I just gave him the trolley again. And I said, you do that. He said, yeah, I've always wanted to, Mum. I said, I know you did, but I needed to hold on to it. And it just helped my mobility, is the best way to put it. And then I messaged Chloe and said I didn't have to hold on to the trolley tonight, and she was just like, oh wow, because she knew how hard it was for me back then just to even be able to move. So I'm telling you, in less than a week, I've already seen the changes. And it does, having the dopamine happening, it does make it easier to make things a priority, even when we don't feel like we want to do them. Okay, now I did have a bottle of it up here. Anyhow, check my social media. I put a picture of the bottle everywhere. Check the latest blog. It's got a picture of the bottle of stuff that I got. I put it in the Facebook group, and people around the world have gone and bought different products too. If you buy something different or you get this product, just let me know how you go and what product you use, because then I can let other people know as well. Now, this product doesn't produce dopamine. It puts everything in place for your body to produce the dopamine, and it's just been brilliant. I'm sorry, I thought I had the picture here. Actually, I'll just grab it for you because it should be easy to do. And even this morning I woke up late and I sat down at my desk to sort out work before I had a client, and I was like, oh, okay. And I knew, I could feel that I needed to take the 2 tablets this morning. Actually, I just went into group for this, but it's probably the wrong place. I probably need to go straight onto my page, and here it is. Okay, so the one that I got is this bottle. Here it is. Okay, so this bottle, and I got this one because I read all the reviews and everybody was saying how they didn't believe it would work, but it worked. And also they were open about everything that was in the bottle and so much more. Now, if you're in America, I know that you can get it on special right now because they're running a 4th of July special. So you can do that. It's also available on Amazon in America. I haven't checked if it's available on Amazon in Australia. And I know people in the UK have looked for it and found it, but someone actually bought a different one. They didn't buy the full that this is. So check it out, do your research, let me know if you come up with something similar or better. I'm open to all options. And, oh, that's right, and if you're unsure whether or not you have a lack of dopamine, I've put a workbook together. It's inexpensive in the Complex PTSD bookshop, because then you've got the information to take to your healthcare professionals, to your trauma coach, to your therapist, whomever that you need to take it to, especially when we're going to our GPs, because they all tend to think that we've just gone online and looked up and, you know, we've become mini doctors, but it's not the truth. I prefer to go there with papers in hand and saying, this is what's happening for me, okay? As I said, for me, natural stuff works really well. And also I've got the questions at the bottom of the blog that I've just written, and it's up. And you can ask yourself all of those questions to see if something natural would suit you, or do you need to go to something medical, okay? And we are all different and we all have different needs, okay? Have a wonderful day. Let me know how you go. And if you need anything else, just let me know and we'll get it sorted. All right, bye for now.